Iran rebels shoot down American aircraft. And it's just that it was the Houthi rebels in Yemen who are fighting a war against Saudi Arabia, shot down one of those drone predators, whatever. Like, what the fuck? Like, there's so much clamoring for war with Iran. And I think, honestly, give credit to Obama. It's like one of the best things he did was that Iranian deal.
Yeah.
And it's just so dumb. Nobody's buying it. Nobody.
That's encouraging, though, because that's the thing with Donald Trump that I think you guys have mentioned on the show before is you're like, maybe there'd be like more anti-war from the left. But then Syria happened, and then it was just like, oh, look, those rockets are really pretty. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now this is happening. It's like a little bit encouraging. I had like really progressive people like sharing my Mises Caucus posts, which is kind of cool. I didn't think they'd ever do that just because it said libertarian on it.
Yeah, I saw that you posted that. So what in reference was it to?
It was a meme. It was they bombed they attacked a ship, and then it had like Thor like, oh, well, did they though?
Oh, did they though?
Yeah.
I love that meme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I don't know. So, I think that's pretty cool right now. Now, do you think they're going to get away with or try to do the war, or do you think just the people aren't sold enough on it yet?
I just think.
Do they care if the people are sold?
Yeah, I go back and forth on if that matters or not. Like,
I think it does. I think they don't want another Vietnam for sure, just because that really didn't go over well with the peeps.
Mm-hmm. True.
I mean, you say that, but then they had Iraq, which came after Vietnam. So,
I think a lot of people,
which is basically Vietnam Part 2, right? So like,
I think a lot of people drank that Kool-Aid though. Like, I think a lot of people are on board with Iraq. Like,
Iraq was also right after 9/11. And
yeah,
people would their brains were like frazzled from that. And they were like, oh yeah, you're right. Saddam definitely helped Al-Qaeda.
Yeah,
even though that makes no sense at all.
They would just believe any damn thing.
Yeah.
They were like, that's the other.
But a tanker getting
us. Yeah.
Right, but a tanker getting attacked, like, American people don't give a shit about that. I mean, even if it was wrong, they're like, oh, okay. Like, no one's really getting motivated over that. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, maybe they, at some point they do have to sort of appeal to the general, I guess, just the support of the American people to some degree, even though a lot of what they do is not really tacitly supported by anybody, but they can get away with it.
Yeah.
When it comes to like a full-scale war, I mean, you need people to enlist, right? You need bodies. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Haven't we, like, technically speaking, we haven't been in any sort of war? Because
not like an official
exactly
U.S. war. We're just in conflicts.
That's why I feel like anytime I mention like the military-industrial complex and like all the wars and shit, it's like there's always some like neocon saying, actually, we haven't been in a war since blah 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 blah. It's
that's just what did they call it? Doublespeak.
Semantics, really. It's there's no Congress declared war, but how many undeclared wars are we in now? Secret wars. We think we're like engaged.
Well, sanctions is a form of war, right?
Well, sanctioned war. I mean, like it was government sanctioned.
No, but I'm saying sanctions.
Sanctions
are acts of war. Yeah,
they're not declarations of war. So
right, but that's all just like invented language. But
I know.
What you're doing is you're aggressing on a foreign country. Mm-hmm. Whether it's by threats or by actually deploying troops. I mean, you're aggressing.
I mean, if you're committing acts of war, you're participating in war.
Right. It doesn't matter what you call it in, your documents and what your news media is saying about it. It's war,
Yeah, man. So what about Jared? What about your boy Joe Biden? He said like if he gets elected president, he's going to cure cancer.
That's what he said. I don't know what that means though. I mean, first of all, there is no such thing as a cure for cancer. There's like a million different types of cancer. They all have different methods of action. They don't even really know what causes cancer 100%.
I think what he actually said, not to come to his defense too hard, but I think what he actually said was something like we are going to cure cancer. I think he was basically saying like, scientists are going to figure it out any day now or something.
No, he literally, I just read what he said, and he just said, I promise you,
What?
Yeah, he says,
Yeah.
I promise you, if I'm elected, you are going to see the single most important thing that changes America. We're going to cure cancer.
Well, that's what Matt was saying.
But-
I mean, it's not that like Joe Biden is gonna cure cancer himself,
Dude,
but I mean,
No, but he
I think it's
associated
gonna-
with his election, though.
I know. Like,
well, no, I'm not saying that. No, I'm still. I agree. It's still ludicrous. I mean, okay, what impact is your being president going to have on, the groups of scientists that are working to discover the cure or whatever? I mean, what are you going to do? Increase funding? Like, is that even going to help? It's ridiculous, obviously.
I don't get it.
It's just funny how these people just keep one-upping each other with their promises. Like, they're just getting out. It used to be like, I'll create more jobs. Like, okay, that sounds reasonable, I guess.
I'll give you.
I mean, you don't really
I'll
create
cancer.
jobs. You just don't get in the way of job creation. That's how you create jobs as a president.
Yeah.
that's like me saying, like, I'm doing the world a favor. I'm not going to kill someone today.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
saving lives.
But now they're coming out with like, oh, everyone's getting $1,000 a month, and everyone's getting universal health care and free education and reparations, and it's just like promising people free shit, or
I'm going to cure cancer.
or like, yeah, I'm gonna cure cancer. No one's gonna die ever again. Like,
dude,
that's gonna be the next shit.
I-
I'm curing aging.
All right, man. I need to know who are the 27 people running. Who's gonna cure AIDS? All right, someone needs to cure AIDS. in
Yeah.
there. It's like shit. Fuck. What? Who? I need a car. Free cars. Like Oprah. You get a car.
But I guess in the age of Trump, it's like no one's gonna look at that as outrageous anymore, right?
True.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, like didn't Obama? He did the cash for clunkers, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
So that was like $5,000 for any shitty car. Did it even have to run? Is it
I think
like?
so. I think you had to bring it to the collection site.
Oh,
If
so you could
bring
tow
it there,
that bitch?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this was a while ago. So
Yeah,
I-
that's
it's
got to
so
be
dumb.
like one of the dumbest government programs. I mean, I'm sure somebody is like, "Oh, no. I'm sure there's probably dumber, There's really
yeah.
the sky's the limit really with government, but
It screwed me.
The cash for clunkers screwed you?
Yeah, because I needed to replace the engine, and the guy quoted me like way higher. He said it would have been like so much more affordable before cash for clunkers because they destroyed all the engines.
Wow. I didn't. Wow. That's.
It was like
Well,
double
yeah.
at least. Yeah.
I mean, I believe it screwed me too because I went
Hashtag
I went car shopping for like a clunker
Yeah.
after that, and there were just less of them out there because they destroyed them all. So
Craigslist was barren.
So wait, this was his idea to sort of get like gas guzzling vehicles off the road. Was that the whole thing?
Yeah, pretty much. Just get older vehicles off the road, older vehicles that probably wouldn't pass. But a lot of people who don't have a lot of money. What they do is
Well, again,
you can get like historic tags,
Right.
and you can pick up like a car for much cheaper, and then you don't have to worry about all
Emissions,
the like emissions and all that stuff. So whereas like if you get twice as much money together, you're getting a car that's like 12 years old instead of 20. And then you still might run into those problems, and you could have like the price of another clunker to get your car to pass emissions. It's pretty tough.
Right.
So
Just another example of a democratic policy that actually hurts the poor.
yeah.
yeah, totally.
I mean, it's not like the prices of cars are going to come down. Like new cars are going to come
No,
down.
yeah, and it's like Lee said after the whole Obama thing. After they paid above market value for a lot of those cars. Like, for instance, like if the government today said we're doing cash for clunkers, I'd sell my car because like I'd have a chance to get some of my money back, right? But also, it's not worth $5,000. Say my car is worth like $1,500. I could make $3,500.
Was it 5,000 or was it like 1,000? I can't remember.
No, it was $5,000.
That's
So,
insane.
Yeah, exactly. So why wouldn't you sell a $1,500 car for $5,000? And
I mean, I bought my first car that was like it was like an older Saturn, but not that old. It was
Oh, really? That was my first car too.
yeah, it was like I bought it in like 2005, and it was like a 2002, I think.
Mine was 2001.
Or no, 2005, and I paid like $4,000 like
Oh shit.
for it.
Mine was like
And then I could have just turned around and sold it for $5. Like, of course, that person probably wouldn't have sold it to me if that was the case.
Right.
But I don't know. It's stupid.
God.
Just destroys the market.
Yeah.
All right. Anything? So we were talking about Biden. So when is the debates are coming up?
Yeah, I think there's 2 sets. The 26th and 27th, I think, and it's 10 on each stage. So I think the top 20 made it, and so of course day 1 is just like the loser class. Like they shoved Tulsi in there with a bunch of people that don't matter. I think Yang might be in that group too. I'm pretty sure, but the rest, like the Bidens and Sanders, they're all in like the butt plug, whatever his name is, what is it?
Buttigieg?
Yeah, butt plug.
Butt gig?
He's on the second night, and it's gonna be such a shit show. I can't wait. We need to do some type of like.
We should. Do you want to live stream it?
Yeah, that'd be fucking hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we
Just
could do
sit
that.
there and just like, look at this motherfucker.
I can throw it up like in the corner and we
Yeah.
can talk about it.
So
What day is that?
I think Stavropoulos and I live streamed the like Republican debates in 2016. I think.
Those are fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we might have to do that. When is it coming up? Someone in the chat. All right. Well, let's just move on.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, there's another piece of news that came out in the past couple of days.
Man, that's a fine piece of news.
Oh yeah, it was a hot piece of news.
Oh.
And it was Trump proposing that that we ban flag burning, and the penalty would be prison time, I believe, is what some people are advocating for. I think.
No, he's taking away your citizenship.
Oh, okay. Well, that was what.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wow. So okay, I mean, don't you normally have to pay I think it's like $3,000 now to get rid of that? So
Yeah.
now you can just burn a flag.
Burn a flag, get out for
That's
free.
a good thing that Trump's doing. I think.
Dude, 4D chess. 4D
Wait, you have to
chess.
pay to hold on. You have to pay to get rid of your
Yeah.
citizenship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
it-
thought it was at least 1,000.
Yeah, I think it used to be like something like $150 or $300 or something, and then I think in the last like 10 to 15 years, it's just went up like
But
astronomically.
dude, remember, you can leave at any time, right?
right?
You can
Well,
leave at any time if
it's-
you don't like it here, right?
You can
if you
leave.
have $3,000,
Love it or leave it.
if you have $3,000, well, yeah, but leaving,
Love it or pay $3,000 to leave.
right?
You know, but yeah, I mean, I kind of think, even though, like, I think flag burning, free speech, yada yada yada. I mean, I think it's fair to say if you burn the flag, you got to leave. I mean, I feel like it just gives a lot of people who would otherwise have to pay $3,000 to, revoke their citizenship. It gives them an easy out. And it's kind of simple. If you want to stay, just don't burn the flag. It's like,
Yeah, but then you're not going to have people like able to protest by burning the flag.
can you still like wipe your ass with the flag? Is
I don't know. Yeah, that's a great question, Matt. We need to see.
Isn't that the
No, but,
respectful way to retire a flag, though?
It's to burn it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're supposed to do. If it touches the ground, you're supposed to burn it.
Yeah.
No, but like in all seriousness, you should be able to burn the flag. I believe, it's a First Amendment issue. Your right to free speech.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think it's kind of funny or it's kind of fucked up that they charge like people $3,000 to leave, and if you could just burn a flag and get an easy way out, I mean, it's good for you.
Trump's 4D chess, man. God, I should have seen that.
I can't see anything like that passing though.
Yeah, Candace Owens was on Twitter
Sorry.
backing the shocking because she backs everything Trump says. And she said, because someone responded to her and said, well, that's unconstitutional. It goes against First Amendment. She's like, well, we have laws against going into a movie theater and screaming fire. And we also have laws against, I don't know if she said laws, but you can't really say anything like racially insensitive and stuff like that. So this should definitely be.
Did you think with Sarah Sanders leaving, retiring, quitting, whatever, who could Trump pick that would serve him better than Candace Owens?
It'd be a good move, I think.
It would be a very good 4D chess move for
God.
I don't want us to sound like we're worshiping Trump or anything, but I just feel like it would just make things even more entertaining than they already are.
Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't imagine. Holy crap! I'm just trying to think. I'm like,
Yeah,
that
I
would
mean-
just be the worst move ever. Cause she's so terrible.
I think everybody's wet dream is that he picks Alex Jones, which
Right.
that would of course be very entertaining, but I just don't see that happening.
Never.
It's-
No way,
The
dude.
Candace Owens thing though, he might think of that.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, how much content? I don't know really much about Candace Owens. I hear few things she said and seen a few videos. But I don't know how close she is to the president. Like, is she real close? I just thought she like rides his nuts.
Yeah, she's swinging from his nuts, and then so why wouldn't he? I mean,
well, what sort of qualifications do you need to have to be in that position?
I mean, what did Sarah Sanders have? I mean,
don't
she
know.
was in the Muppets movies, but I mean, aside from that,
Was she Snuffleupagus?
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm sure they have some sort of vetting process, and they don't seem to just pick anybody. But I don't know. Maybe they do.
Yeah, but that is a good question. Like, what qualifications you have to be?
I mean, she's probably doing.
Like, what was she
pretty
doing
close to the
before
job,
that?
Right? Like, what else do you do besides press conferences? And I don't
Do you
know.
have to have like a degree?
In a communications degree.
Can I just like submit my application to the White House? Can I put you guys down for references?
Do it, Phil.
oh fuck you.
Like, yeah, this
Phil.
dude's fat and he broke several chairs. So make sure the stage is extra bolts on it.
I hope the White House is BYOC.
Bring your own cock.
Chair, Jared.
Oh.
He got really sensual when he said that. It's like Barry White over here.
God.
Shit, your own cock.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, I was going to ask you guys, have you guys seen the Liberty Hangout YouTube channel recently?
No.
No.
Yeah, for some reason, it just started like popping up in my feed the other day, and I'm sure I subscribed to it at one point. And then, anyways, I started seeing these videos on there in the past few days, and they're all like, I guess I never really watched this chick before. The blonde hair girl with the curly hair.
Kate or Gun Girl, or she
So
got the ramen for hair.
yeah, so like, and I was kind of amazed because before all the videos, it was like Infowars.com. So apparently, like Alex Jones
Yeah, they're part of
has
Infowars,
worked
huh?
out a deal with like Liberty Hangout, so that way he's still on YouTube, and so now these Liberty Hangout videos are getting these like, like they're posted like 4 hours ago, and they already have like 150,000 views, or
Wow.
Damn.
yeah. So apparently, Infowars has found a way around the tube, somewhat.
So what? They're just streaming Alex Jones on their channel.
Well, it's not Alex Jones. At the beginning of the videos, it's saying like Infowars.com, blah blah blah. But
They
then
have like Infowars microphones when they talk to people. And
Yeah.
Infowars on it.
But it's just got the Liberty Hangout branding.
Yeah, they're from Liberty Hangout, so it's like Justin sits there and like films Caitlin like interviewing people, like bombarding people on the street, and then like eventually some guy will like put his hand on her and she'll like they'll start like flipping out like you just assaulted me. That's
Well, what
usually
does
how
that have to do with
every video
Infowars
goes.
though?
I don't know. They're friends with Infowars, I guess, and they work for Infowars.
Wow.
Yeah, but I guess since they technically are Liberty Hangout, they can get away with it. I don't know. YouTube. I don't understand how.
I'm sure that'll get banned like real quick.
yeah,
Not really.
I'm surprised.
It's been like at least a year I've seen them being affiliated with Infowars.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just noticed it recently, so yeah, I just wanted to get your guys' take on it. I thought it was pretty funny myself.
That's crazy.
People always just share the videos just to make fun of her, and like a bunch of groups, like libertarian groups. So that's usually the only like feed I see. And it used to be Justin was like the head, but he realized he's better off the camera and just put Caitlyn up there and shit. And apparently they got engaged. So I did see that. Damn, I knew way
What
more
was
about
their
them than I thought I
engagement
did.
like a fucking MAGA ring or some shit?
I don't know. I forget. But dude, I kind of sitting here embarrassed. I know more about their life than I thought I did.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty fucking.
But it's usually because
bad,
everyone just
bro.
shares the shit in the group. We just make fun of them.
Okay, dude, whatever
Yeah.
you say. Sounds like you're just Facebook stalking Caitlyn Bennett, aka Gun Girl.
Gun Girl.
Fucking A, dude.
Fuck her.
Man. So, Father's Day today.
Yeah. Happy
Phil,
Father's
how did
Day.
you celebrate, dude? You're like Papa Phil, man. You got like 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
You got a litter.
I usually don't like celebrating Father's Day. I tell like my wife like you don't have to give me anything. I don't like it. It's just whatever. I'm kind of curmudgeon-y. I have like I don't need a Father's Day thing. It's now like a social media holiday like Mother's Day and Valentine's Day. So I don't really care for it. But my wife like kind of encouraged me to have my parents and my brothers come over. Like last night we just cooked out on the grill.
Nice.
And today literally just like sat and recovered from like lots of drinking last night. And yeah, my wife. Oh yeah, my wife. We talked about this like a few weeks ago. the comic book. Remember I told you I saw the Spider-Man comic in the antique store that I had when I was a kid. It was the 30th anniversary edition of Spider-Man. My wife bought it for me.
Oh, cool.
So that was my gift, and I got an Elton John T-shirt.
Sweet.
Because I love Elton John.
That's
Wow,
awesome.
man. I'm surprised that comes in your size.
I had to stretch it out.
I don't know, dude. They kind of have the same physique now.
Yeah. Elton John, 2019. Right there, man.
Dude, Jared, what did you do
And the
for...
same sexual orientation.
Jared, what did you do for Papa Schneiderman?
That was a funny low-key joke he just said. No one heard it.
Yeah.
He said same sexual orientation.
Oh.
We're actually doing something like next week.
Oh, okay.
We like to do our things like different days, so we're not like.
What is it? Is it like because you guys do like Chanukah, like different days?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what do you mean, you guys?
So it's
Is that
basically, dude. No, it's because I don't like having to like get reservations and be like one of like a million people.
I'm
in
sure
place.
every restaurant was like booked.
Yeah.
So we didn't even go out at all today.
How about you, Lee? Did you do anything for Father's
Brilliant.
Day?
I
Good idea,
didn't.
though.
Now
No.
my pop lives kind of far away, so I got to hang out with him last week. So that was
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I had the folks and my brother over and grilled out a little bit before this.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's good times.
Sweet,
Super
dude.
Good day.
Post your Father's Day experiences in the comments.
Yeah. Dude, what about, does it count if like the Founding Fathers Day? Are they my father? Should I like go to the Jefferson Memorial? And
Dude,
bring him flowers?
I'm just saying, I had a Blaze Father's Day
Don't you have like a Blaze Day?
every day. Yeah.
Every day.
Okay.
Yeah, how's that any different?
Okay, yeah. Enough about me. All right, so Jordan Peterson has a new social media network that he's making, correct, Jared? And you can't get on, like he won't let you in, you said? There was a wall?
No, he's starting a beta test of it. So that means, limited access initially just to work out all the kinks. But
I think whatever you got to tell yourself, man.
I don't know. I'm hoping to get an invite. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not just going to use it because it's Jordan Peterson or
Sure,
anything
bro.
like that. I hope it doesn't turn into something like Gab where it's just a bunch of like right-wing people.
Mm-hmm.
How is it not going to turn into that though?
Well, I mean, look, I don't consider myself right-wing, but I think a lot of libertarians will be interested in it.
Yeah.
Probably not a lot of like leftists, not a lot of hardcore leftists, but I could see just different varieties of like non-leftist people. I mean, it's not going to be like Twitter where it's like mostly leftist people.
So we're based in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So, we all obviously know a lot of left-wing people. It's a democratic state, especially the cities, always Democrat all the time. All
Mhm.
kind yeah. So, do you guys know any like lefties that are as triggered by Facebook or social media censorship as we are?
Not me. Not at all. People think that's a good thing. Most people I know, the friends I know have that are like liberals and Democrats, they think it's a good thing. They want it completely gone, like all hate speech and false news and just bullshit. Like they love the fact like Snopes fact checks news articles like Babylon Bee. Like they love stuff like that. I don't know.
How can you love the fact that somebody fact checks satire sites? That's
they're
just so
stupid.
absurd. I think yesterday I was scrolling through my feed, and then Facebook's so fucking lame that I've got like 5,000 friends, but yet I see like 3 or 4 times I see like the same fake news article, and then right underneath it I see this same article announcing that it's fake news. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
And I see this like 3 times within like the span of an hour just scrolling through Facebook. And it's just so ridiculous.
It is. I saw someone made a post saying, "Oh man, Gene Wilder died," and underneath I'm like, "Well, that's clearly." I'm like, "He died a few years ago." And as I kept scrolling, underneath it was fact checked and said, "Gene Wilder didn't die today. He died a few years ago." Click the article, and they had like 8 paragraphs about how he died, when this was, how this whole fake news story came about today. I'm like, why? Like. It's simple. It's news. It's news. He did die. He just didn't die on that day. Someone shared an old article.
Yeah. Like I've noticed that. I noticed that quite a bit. It's like just every now and then, I guess one person sees an article. Who knows? Who knows how it starts? You know, I guess one person discovers it for the first time, and then everybody else is like, just like forgets about that this person died like 2 years ago, and then you see like 4 people shared the same article consecutively.
Yeah, I've probably done it.
And yeah, I know I've definitely done it before.
Yeah.
Always got to read the date, man.
Yeah.
Always read that date.
Yeah.
I might know like one left wing or 2 left wing people that don't like it, but not too many. Yeah, but they're like more. I know the one guy kind of identifies as left libertarian, whatever. I still don't understand exactly what that is, but
I feel like
he's kind of like. I agree with him on more stuff than most people. You know what I mean?
Mm. I feel like the Bernie crowd tends to be sort of anti-censorship because, you know, they talk a lot about how the establishment, you know, censored Bernie and rigged the election and all that shit. So it kind of bleeds over into, you know, you just got to recognize there's different factions of the left. Like there's the fucking like super communist. There's like the
actually, I would identify as left libertarian before I would identify as right libertarian.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So you know, I think Alex Miller, he of course identifies as left libertarian.
Yeah,
and I believe he explains it as like he just has sympathy for a lot of the issues that leftists have sympathy for.
Yeah, like you have environmentalism.
Yeah,
is, you know, a left issue typically.
But he thinks rent is theft.
Who? Alex?
Alex, yeah. We had a conversation about that.
Alex
before.
Miller does?
Well, he thought certain types of rent could be theft. It all depends on how you came into ownership, which I think is a legitimate point. Like, if you don't legitimately own something, you can't rent it.
Like, and he was like saying like about like owning property. Like, we've had a conversation going back and forth about that on the podcast.
Yeah,
about owning property, like land and stuff like that. And but he's a really awesome guy. Like, I don't want to seem like I'm talking trash about him. Like, he's probably like the best. He's probably the best left libertarian, if you want to say that, like as opposed to like Mike Shipley, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Who might add? Is he back in the group?
Yeah, apparently. You added him back?
Awesome.
Why are we not talking about this?
Yeah, why isn't this headline news?
I was going to say that for after hours.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well,
damn,
right.
dude.
Well, now
you get a little sneak preview.
Little teaser.
All right.
So I guess we'll use this as a time to plug after hours. So yeah, if you guys want to like help us keep the electricity on here in Anarchy Basement, we do an after hours program right now, and if you want to gain access to that, you can just go to patreon.com/punk rock libertarians and contribute a minimum of $1 per month. That's not very much, is it, Jared?
Not really, dude.
$1 per month.
Not unless you're a poor.
Yeah. So
Just kidding.
yeah. So, Jared, what the hell was that, dude?
It was a little
Okay.
Jewish privilege, dude.
Oh shit.
JP, man. The JP.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to help us out over there, that would be much appreciated. We've already got a number of. I think we've got 20 patrons now.
Yeah, come on. We need to get 8 more of you, or 9 more of you, so we can beat Liberty Hangouts Patreon. I think we can do that.
We should start a new ad campaign that's just like become a patron so we can have more than Liberty Hangout. I'll make a graphic when I get home.
Please do that. Please do. I can't wait to share the shit out of that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Get into a war. All right.
But I want to go back about this Jordan Peterson thing. His app or media, whatever.
Okay, so would you sign up for it, Phil?
Well, yeah. I mean, I definitely would. Like, I signed up for MeWe and Minds and all these other places.
Like I'm hoping people will just go anywhere, and then the point. You know, I'm not all like boners for Jordan Peterson, but
Me neither.
I do like that he says he's setting up a platform that's censorship free.
Now there was one criticism raised, mainly by leftist people, but apparently it's the way it's going to work is if you receive a certain amount of downvotes, it's kind of like Reddit, but if you receive a certain amount of downvotes on a post, it will hide that post, or I guess make it really hard to find it.
Well, that's dumb.
What's that?
That's dumb. Like, what? Why? That's what Facebook's essentially doing.
Well,
they're instead of you voting for it, they're just telling you, yeah, we're going to.
But this is
against our.
Well, but it's more so just like if somebody just is trolling or something.
Well, I mean,
Trolling's half the fun.
Consider this, Jared.
I don't know. Like, this is just something I heard. I don't even know how true it is. Like I said, it's in beta testing, so like if it doesn't work,
Yeah, it's like
well,
who
then
knows
they
what's
can just
actually going to happen.
nix it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just one thing that I heard was.
Yeah, but I mean, it would seem to me if like a large number of people are getting triggered by a post, it's like that post is getting a lot of activity around it. Therefore, it's probably an entertaining post. So it's like, you know what I mean? It seems like it's kind of just taking the fun out of social media when you do stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on the context of why it's being downvoted and what the community wants. Because like on Reddit, they have the same thing. And typically the stuff getting downvoted, it depends on like whatever the Reddit is, like whatever the subreddit is. Like if it's like a cool subreddit, the only stuff that gets voted down is the stuff where it's people just blatantly just being an idiot, just being an asshole, or going against the rules of the subreddit. It's not typically like, oh, I disagree with what this guy's saying, unless you go to like some of the larger like sort of R politics and that kind of stuff where it's just like filled with like it's like people are automatically enrolled into those Reddits, so you just get everybody and it's just bad. But the smaller communities, it seems to work pretty well. So
it's like all self-regulating within the community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is the cool thing about Reddit. And there's a lot less censorship on Reddit as well.
Yo, what was that, John, back in the day? That like chat rooms? It was like IRC, I think.
Oh yeah.
And then you could have like your own, like people would control it. You could give people like control of the group or whatever.
Yeah,
kick people out. Yeah, like moderators.
IRC's still around.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I should do that again. That was fun. Because if you get someone being a tyrant or whatever, just kicking people out for no reason, I would just go to a different chat. It was fun.
Yeah.
I used to stay up all night just like, it was awesome. Man.
Is that like chat rooms or something?
Yeah, it was like chat rooms.
Yeah.
There's probably all this other stuff. I don't know.
Well, yeah, there were like different chat rooms on different platforms. Like you had like...
You ever go to talkcity.com?
No.
I think that was in like the mid to late 90s.
No, I mean, I used to go into like AIM chat rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Too.
ASL.
And the fucking Victory Records.
Oh, yeah, like,
the Victory Records chat all the time
yeah.
on their website.
Well, yeah, like I remember like as a kid, I never had a computer, but my buddy Rob, he always had a computer. I remember going over his house and we would go in like, chat rooms and just fuck with people for a few hours.
Yeah.
Or, you'd go in the punk rock chat room and you'd be able to find out like tour dates and shit. And this was like earlier in the internet when not everybody had a website.
Right.
So it was pretty cool. They really did serve a great purpose back then, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see something that's kind of like Reddit, but with the profile aspect of Facebook, where you can just post your own shit and people can kind of, but it's still like sort of decentralized and sort of like you have little communities that are sort of self-moderated, but you can also kind of broadcast out to everybody.
Yeah.
Some sort of mix between that would be kind of cool.
That's the only concern is that like I like interacting with people I don't aren't necessarily in my little frame of mind.
Yeah.
Like every now and then I'll lob something up that I don't necessarily entirely agree with, but I know it'll trigger people and eventually like have a real conversation. It happens once in a while. And like that I don't see that on MeWe or any of those other. It's like just a lot of people that.
It's an echo chamber.
Yeah,
Echo chamber.
exactly. And Facebook's trying to do that too. They were like really promoting the groups for a little while. I feel like
they were.
Maybe still are.
Yep, I think they
yeah.
are. But now they're starting to do the auto flagging thing.
Yeah,
which is really dumb. Every single time someone posts a GIF that they find on Facebook's website, you find it on there because they have like the approved GIFs you can post, and they'll post a GIF and it'll automatically get flagged. And it's so annoying because it says it's for like sexual or nudity. It's like, what the fuck? And but going back to what you guys are saying is I feel like the echo chambers are really strong right now. And I just feel like, so what's going to make this different? What's going to bring normies to this? Like what's going to bring your boomer, grandparents or like your college classmates, like what's going to bring all these people into talk? What is it called?
what was it? Think space.
Like what's going to bring them there? And I really feel like the only people who can do this are people who are fans of Jordan Peterson, and libertarian or conservative, like-minded people. And I'm just afraid it's just gonna be another echo chamber.
I mean, if the features are really dope, maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Enough.
If it's actually a good product, like I don't know anything about Gab, but But like the other ones that I've like MeWe and Minds, like I just go on them. I'm like, there's nothing here to like keep me on the platform.
Exactly.
There's nothing like where I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's
I just look at it
like,
as like it's another place to share stuff about the group, the punk rock rotations.
It's just like a copy off of Facebook.
Yeah.
It's like just a Facebook without censorship, which is cool, but like
it's functional. MeWe kind of gives me like way too many notifications and stuff, but no one's on it. So maybe if Jordan Peterson's name, or if they get some money for advertising or something, and they can actually, I don't know, contend.
I mean, it's the fact that you have that big of a name behind it. I mean that definitely provides a little bit of optimism, I would say, and it might help it launch aside.
But what? Okay, so what person who's a typical college leftist who knows of Jordan Peterson because he thinks he's like a hate monger?
But I mean, here's the thing:
go to his website.
Yeah, nobody. But the thing is, most people aren't that. That's a very small subset of the population. The people that we want to get on the platform are just like everybody else, really. So like, all right, if some hardcore leftists don't get on the platform, I don't really miss them. I mean, they're not interested in free speech. Like, if you're not interested in free speech, then I don't want you. I'm not going to prevent you from joining the platform, but I don't prefer you to be on it, right? I don't want a Mike Shipley going around and just harassing everybody and like.
But he's so fun. I want Mike Shipley there.
Well, I'm sure Mike Shipley would join just so he could harass everybody. So he could be like, "You're all."
And if you send Mike Shipley money,
by virtue of joining this platform.
Well, what's funny? What's funny to think about though, if if say the right owned Facebook, do you think it would be? They'd probably be
doing the same exact.
They'd probably
thing.
be blocking people or banning people for posting pictures of like burning flags and shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just so happens that
they're about some speech, they're about conservative speech.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, whenever you get either ideological position, unless that's why I do like Jordan Peterson is, from what I've seen, it seems like I mean, you could say he's like right wing to some degree. Even though he did say like he would have voted for Hillary Clinton.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Or he said he would have gone in like wanting to vote for Trump, but might have pulled it for Hillary or something like that.
Wow. I did not see that.
Which, not a fan of that, but I mean, whatever. It's. Yeah. But my point being, I just if it actually follows his principles, which I think he is very like pro free speech, regardless of what the speech is. That's a good thing. But yeah, when it takes a sort of an ideological bent towards like one of the far left or far right or even like establishment left or right, I don't think those are friendly to free speech.
No.
That's when you have the problem. But if it's sort of oriented around like this idea of like, doesn't matter what you say as long as you're not, doxing somebody or threatening or, any of the stuff that is aggression, then go ham.
Alexis says we should bring back Friendster.
Is that where he used to get laid from?
Is that where you guys met him?
I don't remember that one.
That was like the first grinder.
Wow.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
I understand, like a kind of similar topic. I saw a band last night that, I mean, they had a little thing in between songs about how they, if you got turned down because of a pre-existing condition, and she goes, like, I agree. I believe in universal health care. You might not come talk to us after the show, or come talk to us. But we can start from there. I don't think anyone talked to her, but like it was a way different attitude than I'm used to seeing. I thought that was awesome.
It was.
Yeah.
But what's also funny though, speaking of shows, I saw last week I saw Sick of It All and Slapshot at the Rock and Roll Hotel in DC. And for being political bands, I assumed I'd hear a lot more Donald Trump this or that. And I haven't, no one said one word the entire set for both sets. No one, like there was no talk of politics. That kind of threw me off. I was expecting to hear something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe because, I don't know, like hardcore bands, maybe they're different. But usually I would expect to hear something, but
yeah.
It was weird, especially because you're in DC.
Maybe people are just getting tired of it.
Dude, I remember a show I went to. I saw a band called Righteous Jams and Cloak and Dagger at this show. It's called Alafishwa Cafe in DC, and it's I believe she was a Palestinian woman, and like she stopped the show in the middle of the show and was like, "We need to talk to people about like Israel and the evils that Israel does in the Palestine." Like for like 20 minutes, like she talked to us about Israel. That was one of the first times.
Dude, you're about to make Jared's head explode.
And so she were actually talking about like Palestine. That's one of the first times I remember hearing someone who was Palestinian or anyone like in favor of Palestine speaking on the issues of like what's going on in Israel. And I was like, wow, okay. It was weird. Like she was so impassioned talking about it, and it's just stuff I never heard that side of it before. And this was back in like 2006, 2007, something like that. But usually, you expect to hear a lot more political stuff at punk shows and stuff. But I haven't been to any recently. I know I saw Strung Out and the Casualties are coming to the Auto Bar coming up in August or September. So I'm excited to go a few more shows, more punk shows. That is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, except
Proud of
for,
you, dude.
weren't you like talking about Good Charlotte a couple weeks ago?
Well, they're playing June 30th in Silver Spring. I might go.
See, that's where I live.
I went. They're probably like $60 a ticket. I would have no interest in seeing Good Charlotte.
Nobody believes you. Nobody, not a person.
Well, nobody sucks, though, right? Nobody's a douche. But yeah, so it's. I don't know. But going back to the subject, I'm just worried really about this being another MeWe, another Minds, and I think there's a lot of. They kind of, I don't know. I want to say Facebook wants that because they want your data.
Okay,
they crave your data. So they obviously don't like these other sites. But at the same time, you're not going to get the general population. And is it just going to turn into some type of right wing or libertarian talking space? And I don't know. I have enough of those groups. I follow enough of them.
Well,
that's why Zuckerberg wants to be regulated.
Ugh. Yeah.
Well, that is part. Yeah, that's one other thing. Yeah. But I mean, look, Facebook, I think is on the way out. I think it's a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before something else pops up. And if
Jared,
it's ThinkSpot,
you're so in tune with the youth.
It's just you can see it happening.
Yeah,
you can just see everyone getting upset. Like nobody thinks of oh, I love Facebook. No, it's just like this is the thing that exists and everyone uses it, but that can only last so long. So whether it's ThinkSpot or something else. If it's a good product, we don't get a bunch of like government regulation that just regulates it out of existence. I don't really see a problem with it, or I can see it overtaking Facebook at some point.
Yeah, I think that's probably like one of the worst things about all this. It's just all these conservatives now talking about free speech, and it's like but then it seems like they're asking for the government to step in.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's how would that make things better?
You mean the people that are like asking for it to like become a utility and shit like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, we could even go back to the Liberty Hangout YouTube for a second. I believe I saw like yesterday, the chick with the blonde hair was interviewing Beto O'Rourke, and she was asking him what he would do to protect conservative free speech.
What do you say?
What is conservative free speech?
Well, I mean, that was his first thing. It just shows like how stupid her fucking question is. Just ask, what are you going to do to protect free speech?
Yeah.
So it was pretty retarded. But it's like how conservative can this chick actually be if she's begging for Beto O'Rourke to step in?
Huge Donald Trump supporter. So
yeah,
pretty dumb.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Just abide by the First Amendment? Like I don't know. How do you answer that? Like make sure we're abiding by the First Amendment? I don't know. Like there's nothing the government can do in a positive sense. To like protect free speech, really, aside from just not infringe on it. Yeah. Right?
I think so.
I mean, in theory, if the police were actually like protecting people, you could make the argument, well, they could protect people from getting hurt for their free speech, but we know that doesn't happen. So it's like, what can the government really do? And certainly making something a utility like the internet or Facebook, that's a recipe for disaster.
Yep. Yeah.
Because then you just let the government write all the rules, and we all know, where that can lead, right? I mean,
Flint,
Michigan, or Soviet Russia, or
I thought the internet was over as we knew it because net neutrality.
oh yeah, it's been 1 year, I believe, since.
I know. And the internet hasn't been the same since, guys.
I don't know. Aren't you paying like 25 cents a tweet now, Phil?
I guess. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know. I'm still waiting for the charge to come, man.
Dude, maybe it's all just going onto your tax return or something.
How fucking dumb does people sound? And then they'll never admit, oh, yeah.
No, they'll be like, oh, next year, you'll see.
Yeah.
Or they'll pull up some like really obscure example in like rural Kansas where like somebody like jacked up a price on. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I know. And
that's not what you were saying, bro.
They'll never admit defeat. They'll never have like the balls to say, yeah, we were wrong.
Yeah.
We were misled. But whatever. Fuck those people.
Well, it's like when you try to silence a Nazi by putting stuff in place that like Nazis put in place to like stop free speech.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Dude, they're gonna burn your books, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'll show them. So it's like how they deleted they demonetized a bunch of people on YouTube, and YouTube started like taking down like hate speech, and they took down like old videos people had of Hitler's like speeches. They deleted it as hate speech.
I almost think that's dangerous.
I know. It's like you're taking away.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's totally dangerous. I mean, how are you supposed to prevent somebody like Hitler from happening again if people don't know about it,
Right.
Like, let's stop all these Holocaust deniers and like not show any proof that this happened. Like, what the fuck?
Right?
Yeah.
It might trigger people, so we can't show you the pictures, but we promise.
Well, I mean, that's the whole point of like the Holocaust Memorial Museum so people can remember what happened.
Exactly.
But do they have a safe space in there if it might trigger some people? Do they have warnings?
Nah, dude, that place is fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's the opposite of what we want to do is forget what happened.
Yeah, like a friend of mine actually went on a field trip in school, and he tripped acid.
Oh, Jesus.
Like on the Holocaust Museum field trip. He said it was pretty scary, as you could imagine.
What an idiot, dude.
I know.
That's fucking retarded. I mean, shit. That would be intense.
Exactly.
Could you imagine posting that online? Like, I'm about to take acid before I go in here.
Oh
Dude, that one person, she went to Auschwitz and she took a selfie.
Oh, there's like a bunch of those.
Yeah, and she took a selfie smiling in front of it, and just people like that is the most insensitive, hateful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's even worse than the Holocaust. What you did, like, they freaked out.
Yeah,
it was.
I mean, it's definitely tasteless.
I don't know if it was tasteless. It was just really bad. Just unaware. What's the word I'm looking for? Unaware.
Yeah.
Like you were just unaware of how dumb, like an idea, how much people.
I think it just says more about like the shallowness of like Instagram.
I don't know, but
I
just like anywhere to get like a gram, any place I can get a gram.
Well, there's a whole organization now that wants to prevent white
Jared,
people from taking pictures with African children who go over there on missions. It's white. It's called white saviorism.
Are they gonna go themselves?
No, they don't want white people to take pictures with them because it's called like white saviorism or something.
White savior complex.
Yeah, there you go. White savior complex.
There's this picture of one of my friends at like a zoo, and he just stopped and like talked to all these little kids, and they were like, I guess a school trip, and they were like all different like nationalities, or not nationalities, but like races and stuff, and everyone was like, what did you go to help Africa? Like help? He was like, no, I'm in like fucking Philadelphia.
Wow.
It was like the funniest shit. Everyone assumed like he went on like a mission because he's like a nurse.
Oh my god,
It was so fucking funny.
That's funny. Damn, Phil.
Oh, that's so fucking funny.
Phil, that shouldn't even be that funny. That's racist.
Yeah,
that's racist, Phil.
Oh man, you are what you laugh at. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
What is this last topic? What does that say? Deportes?
It was debates, but we kind of talked about that.
Wow.
Deportes?
Deportes.
Deportes.
Yeah, so I guess it's time to carry it on over to after hours.
Yeah.
So also guys, we have t-shirts over at libertariancountry.com. If you type in the code PRL or the code PRL podcast, you'll receive a 10% discount. Also hit up our group on Facebook, Punk Rock Libertarians. We always have a ball in there with the memes. And then you can also find us at facebook.com/Punk Rock Libertarians podcast. Until next time, live free
Or die.